You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It's your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging out with you guys, and welcome back to the show. I'm really excited about talking about this topic today, and that is finding a good coach, mentor. But really what I wanted to talk about was challenging you guys a little bit on this episode. So give me some latitude as we go through this. And that is picking up the phone in 2021. I want to talk to you guys about getting some help, about getting out of your comfort zone, your familiar zone, as some of us would say, and realizing that you don't have it all figured out. You want to know why? Because I don't have it all figured out. I've talked to a lot of other people. They don't have it all figured out. And if we just got honest, if we just got naked, and we just, were transparent with ourselves and each other, you know what? We all need help. We need help. We don't have it all figured out. We could always use some perspective, some outside opinion, some folks that could maybe steer us a little bit, give us some guidance, give us some wisdom, and help us out. So here's what I want to do on today's episode. I want to talk for just a short little while here and talk to you guys about picking up the phone in 2021 and why you should evaluate having a coach, a mentor, take somebody out to dinner. I want to challenge you guys by the time this podcast episode is done, that you're going to make the commitment over the next couple of weeks or month to pick up the phone and call somebody and say, I need your help. So I think this is going to be a really fun episode. I got some really good ideas here. Stick with me. It's a little bit different kind of a conversation and challenge I'm going to throw out to you guys. But without further ado, we're going to come on back. I got some great things I want to present to you guys that I think is really going to help you guys grow your business here into the spring and summer months for 2021. So let's do this really quick. Let's kick it over to Marty, Mr. Producer, to bring you guys the show announcements, updates, and highlights. And then we're going to come right on back.
Guys, this is my first year that I've actually had a lawn care professional doing the mulch install in my yard, and I know many of you are being asked right now, is that a service that you offer? I hope it is. It's certainly a lucrative way to help expand your business and service offerings. At lawntrepreneur.academy.com, we offer the How to Get Started Installing Mulch training program. This video course will teach you the basics to bidding, pricing, and installing mulch. When Brian added mulch installs to the Brian's Lawn Maintenance portfolio of services a few years back, he described it as a significant game changer. If you want to learn the mulch installation side of business and execute on the service for 2021, then this rubber meets the road course is for you. Best of all, affordably priced at only $49, and it is also a part of the Whole Ball of Wax Spring Blowout deal that I'll tell you more about soon.
Hey guys, Paul here from the Green Industry Podcast to remind you that when the water goes up, the boats go up. You're listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
All right, good deal, guys. Well, let's just jump right back into it. Always appreciate Marty bringing you guys the show highlights, the updates, and the announcements, and all the news that's going on around here with our podcast, Lawntrepreneur Academy, the YouTube channel, and everything in between. All right, here's what I want to do for a couple quick minutes here is talk to you guys or challenge you guys to pick up the phone in 2021. What does that mean? What am I talking about? Well, here's the deal. I want to talk about the fact that something that has changed my life probably more than getting my billing right, more than getting my route density right, more than getting the right equipment, more than, picking out the best snowplow or the best work truck, is having coaches and mentors and good people around me. All right. So it's one of those things in life. They always say it's not what you know, it's who you know. And the reason is the who is because the who has access to a lot of the what. The who has access to a lot of the thought process. The who has access to a lot of the resources, the knowledge, the wisdom, the perspective to help you grow a more successful life. And so stick with me here. I don't care if you're 18 listening to the podcast, you're 25, 27, and you got things kind of, making it happen. You're shifting gears, things are growing. I don't care if you're 35 and 40 and you're just, you think you're just on the wane and, you're tapped out. Come on. You're not even halfway through life yet, son. You're not even into the second half, the third quarter here. 40 and 50, that's the new 20, right? Come on. So here's what I want to talk about. I want to challenge you guys to pick up the phone sometime in the next 30 days and call somebody and take them out to lunch. I want to challenge you guys to find somebody that you can partner up with. And I'm not talking an accountability buddy, okay? Somebody lateral that's got the same size life, same size business, same size income. I want to challenge you guys to go and catch up with somebody that has a bigger income, a bigger life, or a bigger business than you, and to go on out there and take them out to lunch, take them out to dinner. I don't care if you know the person. I don't care if you don't know the person. I want you to get outside of your comfort zone and start moving the needle forward. Why? Because again, to go full circle, outside of all the equipment and the trucks, the trailers, the route density and running the business, nothing has helped my business grow more than an outside perspective, right? There's the 4 windows of life. I'll go through them. Hopefully I don't mess it up, but it's what you know that other people don't know. It's what other people don't know about you that you know. It's what you don't know, or maybe you know that other people also know. And then there's other people that know things about you that you don't know, or whatever the 4 windows of life are, right? So a lot of us, we know certain things. We know that other people don't know certain things about us, and it's like a secret. There's things that people know about us that we don't really know. So, some people probably think I'm a jerk, from an outside perspective. That's fine. That's okay. I mean, I kind of know that, so that'd be a known. But, there's a lot of times where maybe you do stuff that annoys people that you don't pick up on, but your wife notices. That's one of those things. And then the 4th window is there's stuff that neither of us know, or whatever it is. Well, what a coach or a mentor or somebody that can offer an outside perspective is exactly that. They're offering an outside perspective, something that you don't know that you might be doing wrong. You might be annoying somebody. You might be doing something inefficiently, inadequately, maybe not charging enough, maybe not doing the best. And that's what a coach or a mentor can pull out of you. And so here's my little challenge today is maybe in the next 3-4 weeks, try to find somebody that you can take out to lunch or dinner and just say, hey, I'm looking for an outside perspective. I think I got things kind of, going on. Things are kind of figured out, but I trust you. I respect you. Maybe it's just in business. Maybe you just want an outside business perspective. Maybe you have a couple friend or somebody who's a neighbor and they've been married for, 40 plus years, 50, 60 plus years. And you just want to take them out to dinner and say, hey, you have a 60, year long successful marriage. And I've only been doing this thing for 6 years. I want to get an outside perspective and just take you to dinner, pick your brain. The guy's probably 80 years old, right? And just get his thoughts. And you know what? That would be awesome. Maybe it's about finances. Maybe it's about spiritual life. Maybe it's a pastor. Maybe it's your priest. Maybe it's a minister. Maybe it's somebody in your church. Maybe it's somebody who's a deacon. Maybe it's somebody who's a small groups leader, right? I love getting those outside perspectives, right? And so here's why. Again, not to beat a dead horse, getting an outside perspective has helped me more than anything else ever in my business. I mean, let's break it down really quick. When I go work out and I go to CrossFit, big CrossFit junkie, I haven't been the last 18 months, but want to fire that back up here big time. I love hanging out with my coach, Tyler. Tyler's a great dude. His personality is like mine. We're both annoying buttheads. We listen to the same kind of music. We're both about the same age, so we have a lot of things in common. He's fit. I'm not fit, but that's one of the story. That's about what we don't have in common. But he's a great dude. I love hanging out with him. So in between burpees and in between doing this and just whatever, man, all kinds of crazy stuff. We're catching up about life. But you know what? I appreciate Tyler coaching me in between classes, in between reps, in between sets about health, about different perspectives, why we're stretching this out, why we're doing this, why we're lifting this way, why we're adding weight, why we're not adding weight, why we're working on cardio versus this. I appreciate that outside perspective. Maybe you got spiritual life, right? I just talked about it a second ago, but getting together with a coach or a mentor or a pastor or a deacon or an elder right at a church. When's the last time you took anybody like that out to lunch and just shot the breeze with them? You got honest. Hey, I'm struggling with this. Hey, my marriage sucks. My marriage doesn't suck. Hey, our finances are kind of weak. Our finances are kind of strong. Hey, we had this influx of cash. We're not sure what to do with it. What's the spiritual way that we subscribe to is the right way to approach this surplus of income, right? Hey, I'm struggling with this as a dude. I'm struggling with this as a lady. I'm struggling with comparison. I'm struggling with things on the internet. Is there anything you can give me with an outside perspective that could help me out? Right. And so this is a fun conversation to have because, here's the deal. I saw a guy do an analogy once. He drew just a dot on a piece of paper and he drew an orbit. And he said, everything you know is what you know inside that orbit. Everything you know is what you know. But what he did is he drew another ring outside of the ring of my orbit. And he said, this is somebody who's 10 years older than you, and this is their orbit. This is their knowledge. This is their perspective. This is their experience. What do you think they know? Right? And so when you do a coaching call or you get together with a mentor, you are operating inside that ring, that circle, and all you know is all you know. But that's not all there is to know. That's not all there is out there. That's all you've been experienced to, susceptible to, right? That's all you've lived through. Great little analogy, great little example. I mean, practical analogy. And I think it was 2 years ago, I did a coaching call with Kyle Parks. A lot of you guys know Kyle. He's been on the show. Him and his fiance, I think, at this point. Hopefully I didn't engage him off, but I think they're engaged. It's Kyle and Chloe Parks up there. Well, there will be Parks, unless they hyphen, but don't hyphen, Kyle. Just kidding. But I think they're up there in the Maryland area, over by Dawson Manufacturing, Mulchmate. Great guys. He's a butt kicker through and through. And a great fiance, Chloe. She's awesome. She's a butt kicker too. And Kyle would say she can hold her own with a lawnmower and a trimmer. Well, I told Kyle 2 years ago, he was like, hey, I need to buy a new mower. I just don't know how to get it. I have so much cash on hand, but not enough. I don't have but so much credit that was extended to me. So he was short. He was short like $1,500. And he's like, dude, if I can get this mower, I can open up this bottleneck. I can grow my business. We can start taking things to the next level. What do I do? And so this was via a coaching call. And I said, well, easy. I said, why don't you just go to, 3 of your customers out of 50, ask them to prepay for the season for $900. Boom, boom, boom. 9, 18, 27. I said, you needed 1,500. Now you got 27. You got 1,200 extra to just pad stats. I said, why don't you go finance that new mower? You had $2-3 grand cash. You had $5,000 line of credit. And now you just had $1,500 to bridge the delta to go, that you needed extra for cash for the down payment. I said, you're good to go. And he literally the phone went silent. And it's like, I was clicking the button. I'm like, you still there, bud? And he's like, yeah, I just don't know why I didn't think about that. And I go, dude, that's an easy one. I said, that's something that's so normal, so easy, so in my orbit of thought, right, that it was no big deal for me to offer up that outside perspective. But what if Kyle didn't pick up the phone and didn't ask a transparent, honest, get naked kind of question because he didn't know what he didn't know? He had to submit his ego. He had to be transparent. He had to open up, right? Kyle wouldn't have been able to get that new mower and grow his business to take on more customers and more clients and more revenue. And it might have taken him another year, maybe 2 years to figure that out on his own. So really simple, practical analogy. By the way, you know who I call all the time? Mike Bedell. You know who I call all the time? Keith Kalfas. You know who I call all the time? Corey Ballard, Troy Clogg. I talk to Stanley Dirt Monkey. Stan, I'm trying to build this home. I'm trying to build this barn. I'm trying to buy this, trying to buy that, trying to buy a private jet, just like all of you guys, man. We're trying to hustle. Stanley, what should I do? And Stan's answer is, Brian, you can do anything you want in life, but you can't do everything. Okay. You're going to have to pick. There's different seasons. There's different gears you shift, right? On a Ferrari, you got to go from second to third to fourth. You don't just get to go second to sixth because you're going to stall out the car. So the outside perspective, and by the way, imagine that, keep the analogy going. The next ring, the next rung out there is a 40 or 50-year-old. He's been through some stuff. And by the way, it's not a linear equation where it just doubles. Okay. A lot of time there's exponentialism because now you have experience plus wisdom. Right. So these people have been through things and they've seen the perspective of people who did what they did, people who didn't do what they'd done. Right. Didn't do what they'd done. Is that right, grammar? I'm not sure yet. But I'm trying to relate to some of my Kentucky folk here. So when we go to, that's a bad joke for my Kentucky people. Relax. Don't throw chairs. Don't write an email. And if you do, just send them to mrproducer@gmail.com. Just having fun. But you get an outside perspective, right? And that's what you're getting with people who have been around the block for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 70 years. Right. And you find that compound in your money in your twilight years, but you also find that compounding of thought process, the compounding of perspective, compounding of wisdom. Right. I mean, that's honestly probably why there's a reason why a lot of political office you can't hold until 35, 45, 50 years old. I mean, there's a reason a lot of people that run for political office are 50, 60, 70 years old. They have perspective. All right, let's keep going. This is really fun. Coaching, mentors, they can open doors and extremely help you guys with taking your life and your business to the next level. So my challenge on this podcast is to take somebody out to dinner that you know, that you respect, that you wouldn't mind trading places with, income-wise, spiritual-wise, business-wise. You figure it out. Maybe for business, maybe for spiritual, maybe for something else that you revere about them. Maybe somebody's a philanthropist and they give tons of money away and you want to get yourself in a position to do that. Take that person out to lunch. Take that person out to dinner. All right, let's shift gears a little bit. Why also should you hire a coach or a mentor or invest in yourself, invest in education, right? You hear on our podcast with our ads, invest in your future, invest in yourself. Well, people always say, like, what's the best thing I can do with my money? Put it in the GameStop, put it in the stock market, put it into the Bitcoin. All right answers, to a degree. But what I would really say is invest in yourself, invest in your thought process, invest in mentors, invest in self-help books. I wrote down a couple nuggets here. It said, I wrote my CPA. Okay. I invested with my CPA big time. He's much next level. He's where I grew into 2 years ago. I was like, I don't really know. This is a big commitment. And you know what? It saved me tens and tens of thousands of dollars. Okay. My first year with my CPA, who by the way was, let me do this really quick. Let's take what I spent divided by, I'll get my phone here, what I used to pay. He was 16 times more expensive. I don't know. That's just a lot. When's the last time you paid 16 times more for something else, right? He was 16 times more expensive than what I was paying to get my taxes done previously. Okay. But I will tell you, my first year working with my new CPA saved me $15,000 right off the bat. Okay. We filed a couple different things. We changed a couple of this, a couple of that's. Very, very simple stuff for this guy's level of orbit and perspective. And it was very easy for him to manage my finances and my taxes and to say, let's do this, this, and this, and save me 15 grand, which by the way was a 3 or 4x multiplier than what I was paying him for the additional fee. Another little perspective. I actually hired a YouTube coach once, actually multiple times now. I do it once or twice a year. A YouTube coach? What do you mean? You just make YouTube videos. Yeah. I get it. But I want to be effective. I want to be able to communicate. I want to be able to articulate. I want people to, when they find the channel, be interested in subscribing. I want them to watch a video and watch another video. You trying to say you're trying to make money on YouTube? Yeah. Hello. Like, why are we making the content? Of course, to help people. But if we're going to do it, let's do it effectively. It's like saying I'm going to go to the gym, but not hire a coach. So you're going to be not effective at the gym? I know what I'm doing. Well, clearly, because after 3 years and no results or minimal results, and you still got the beer belly, clearly you know what you're doing. So that's what a lot of people do. And they take pride. They will argue until they're blue in the face. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing with my finances. I know what I'm doing with my life. I know what I'm doing with my business. And that's fine. That's fine. But you're not going to impress somebody who knows that that's wrong and that's not true, who has fruit on the labor or fruit on the tree and fruit of their labor and can discern otherwise. Okay. You might sound like you have it figured out to somebody who doesn't have it figured out. But when you say stuff like that to somebody else who has it figured out or has a bigger perspective on life, all you do is look silly. By the way, that was my story for a long time. Because I would say stuff to Bedell, and he has more things figured out in certain categories of life than I did for sure. And I would give him a soft shoe answer, and he would say, I don't really think you know what you're talking about. And he didn't say that like that because he's got people skills and he's a good friend. He would say, so what do you mean by that? And I would say some other roundabout answer. And he'd be like, I don't really think. You go, interesting. And so I'd say, why is that interesting? Good question to ask. And he would go, well, here's what I do, or here's what I would suggest. Or he would say, because he's got perspective and he's got good people skills, he would say, can I make a suggestion? And I would say, sure. So again, with YouTube, I hired a coach. I wanted to be more effective with my channel. I wanted to grow it. If I'm going to do it, let's do it right. I don't think there's any fallacy in that or anything wrong or, whatever. Hello. If we're already going to make a video, why not make it more appealing so more people watch it so we can get more views, recycle the views into more videos. People can watch the channel. They can watch it longer. We can make more AdSense with it. And what do we do with all of our money? Hell, half the time we're giving away stuff with it. Okay. And so I hired a YouTube coach. Sometimes, people would be shocked to hear that I've spent $300 per hour for a YouTube coach, $600 for an hour per YouTube coach. People are like, $600? Yeah, $600 to listen to somebody to give me a channel consultation for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours. And you know what? It's paid me dividends 100 times over. Okay. It's absolutely worth it when you hire good coaches and mentor. My CPA was 16 times as much. And that's not a bragging statement. I'm going to get into this too, why that's not a merit badge, why that's not a badge of honor just to make the investment. A couple more, then I'm going to keep going. We'll shift gears. I'm going to get a sip of water here. My voice is a little hoarse today. Keith Kalfas. I was like, Keith, I've got a message. I got a mission. I want to help people grow a more successful business. I want to create LaunchpreneurAcademy.com. He was like, a Launchpreneur, a what? I'm like, LaunchpreneurAcademy.com. He goes, bro, I don't even know how to spell it. He goes, every time I go to the URL, I type in Launchra, and if it doesn't finish it out with the predictive text, he goes, I would never find your website. I go, yeah, me too. And all you guys probably trying to type in Launchpreneur 1,000 times a week, probably feel the same exact way. It's a long word. At Academy there, people like AKA, Demi, Academy, I don't know. And then thank God enough people have like searched it and went to the website where now Google's like starting to predictive text and be like, I think this is what you're looking for. So that's funny. The first 2 years, nobody found the damn website because I should have just called it like Lawnacad or something like that, and people could type that in. Lawn U, something like that. So Keith Kalfas, I go, Kalfas, teach me everything you know about building a website and this hosting platform. I need to know how to build training programs, not to make money. Come on. It's not to make money. It's to get a message out there to the 18, 19, 20-year-old, 25-year-old, the guy who's 30 and trying to make a career change. We got 750 YouTube videos. That's a lot to sift through. But for $1,000, you get the whole ball of wax and the promotion that we got going on right now with the Hardscape Academy and all the extra perks and the coaching call. Insane value. Okay. 2 years ago, I was like, Kalfas, I need help with this. And you know what Kalfas said? Hey, dude, I can help you out. Love to help you out. I'll do whatever I can to help you out. And I said, yeah, that's cool. I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you for your time, pay you for your wisdom, pay you for, your perspective. Help me. He goes, all right, $1,000. We'll get a hotel room. We'll spend the night. Just me, you, no girls, no distractions, no nothing. Just me, you, the website. We'll launch this thing. We'll help you put together your first course. I'll give you the skeleton outline and we'll rock and roll. And I looked at Liz because I was on speaker and I go, thumbs up. And she goes, thumbs up. Like, when it comes to investing in ourselves, Liz and I have absolutely no budget when it comes to investing in ourselves. If Stanley Dirt Monkey said, hey, I'm shooting a video tomorrow with Kyle RR Buildings, you in, you out, I'm in. Okay, it's in California, and the last airplane is leaving your place tonight. It's 4:00 in the afternoon. It leaves your place 9:00. I already got your ticket. It's $2,300. Okay. We're there. And not because we're a hero, but because how crazy would it be to get around Kyle, one of the best in not only building pole barns, but doing social media, for example. Right? Pick your guy. Pick your story. Liz wouldn't even bat an eye. She'd be like, okay. She wouldn't go, $2,300 or $500 or Bedell, if he was saying, hey, dude, I'm going to go up to B-Dubs, I wouldn't be like, I don't really have $30 to go eat out, at dinner. I'd be like, oh no, dude, I'm coming and I'm going to buy for you. Right. Thanks for the invite because I appreciate it. Because again, some people they treat coaching and mentors and associations and this podcast like a crumb. Some people treat a crumb like a feast and a feast like a crumb.
This looks like a nice place to jump in on the conversation about coaching. Who remembers your junior high coach? I can't remember the guy's name because I went to junior high back in the 70s, but he used to scare all of us. Always yelling, you got to be agile, mobile, and hostile. It was pretty freaky stuff. Hey, I don't think that's where Brian's going with all of this today. Now, back at the start of the show, I promised details about the whole ball of wax promotion currently available exclusively at Launchpreneur Academy, and here's the scoop. Hey, it's Marty, and apparently spring is the new Christmas. This might be the most wonderful time of the year as Launchpreneur Academy is giving you a deal that's the biggest and baddest we've ever done. For a limited time, when you buy the whole ball of wax, you get access to all 38 of our training resources, a $2,500 value, and yes, it includes all postcard and door hanger designs, plus 2 one-on-one coaching calls with Brian Fullerton. One for the spring, you could use the other in the fall or the winter. The whole ball of wax blowout deal doesn't end there. We have teamed up with Caleb and Brittany Allman and the Hardscape Academy to give you access to their how to install pavers and how to install retaining walls training courses. Supercharge your business and financial future with all the contracts, training courses, the live event replays, 2 coaching calls, the Hardscape Academy bonus, and lifetime access to future updates and training programs on LaunchpreneurAcademy.com. With the add-ons, this is now a $3,000 package, but yours for only $999. At less than $1,000, I think this might just be the best value that our industry has ever seen. It is a limited time offer, and it will expire soon, so get it now at LaunchpreneurAcademy.com or use the link in the show notes.
Lawns, lessons, and live. This is the Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast. Now, your host, Brian Fullerton.
Some people treat a crumb like a feast and a feast like a crumb. And that's the thing that bothers me the most is when people get unlimited sources of info and education and they just treat it like a crumb instead of treating a crumb like a feast. I've always just devoured the crumb because I was so thankful, because when you're 20 and you're broke and you're poor, you are just living off that crumb like, some meek little dude that's the most nutritious meal they're going to get all day, all week, all month. Keith Kalfas helped me put Launchpreneur Academy together, $1,000. What if I didn't invest that? We wouldn't have this huge training website and the impact that it's having to elevate the lawn and landscape industry, which is my MO with that website and that training program, whole process. Another one, Paul Jameson. Got a little list here. Paul Jameson. Paul's like, hey, dude, I can't wait to help you launch the podcast. And these are outside coaches and mentors, right? I'm investing in myself and I'm asking for help. They're not, YouTube gurus or podcast gurus. I mean, they are, but I really appreciate their education, their mentorship, the time and energy that they've put into themselves to be world-class at what they do. So I called Paul Jameson. Hey, dude. Day after Launchpreneur Academy, my schedule's opened up. This was 2 years ago. 18 months ago, whatever it is now. And I said, I need your help. He goes, dude, I'm in. I'm help you out, whatever you need. I said, well, you're coming up to Launchpreneur Academy anyway. Can I catch you the day after, pay you to come on up? He goes, what? He goes, of course. He goes, dude, you don't have to pay me. Don't worry about it. I'll come up there. I got this whole mixer board and these speakers. And it was all in a box for honestly 2 months because, it was intimidating. I didn't know what to do with it. And so he goes, I'll help you set it up on Sunday. I go, whoa. I said, you're going to come up to my house and take your time and energy and money to do this whole thing, and you're already coming to Launchpreneur Academy? He goes, yeah. I go, dude, what's the day rate? I said, least I can do is send you $1,000 via PayPal. I want to pay you for your full attention, all the best info, all the best nuggets. Don't hold out on me about anything. Give me everything you got. Here's $1,000. Let me know if you need more. And I'm not a hero, okay? $1,000 is still a lot of money to me. Hello. But I said, Paul, I want to do this right. I want to have the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. I got things to say. I got 10 years of try, fail, adjust. I know what it's like to be poor, broke, busted, and disgusted and not have a dollar to your name for a decade wondering how to be successful and why my lawn care business sucks. And 4 or 5 years later, because of YouTube, because of the mentors, because of people, because of all of you guys listening in, that's not the case. And we're not making multi-millions of dollars. But you know what? No debt and a 6-figure income, you can do okay. And if you want to make more from that, hey, take the foundation of what we're teaching and grow from there. If you want to go make $1 million, the first 100 I help you make isn't going to get you in the way of making $1 million, okay? We teach from square root 1, the right equipment, the right thought process, the right CRM, all the base foundation. Some of these gurus out there they get on my nerves. They think they got it all figured out. This is, all they want to do is sell you a franchise fee. Let's keep going. So Keith Kalfas, Paul Jameson. Paul Jameson came up here. And why did I pay Kalfas $1,000? Why did I pay Paul Jameson $1,000? You know why? Because they're worth way more than that. But I was so thankful that they would take their time and energy and focus and pour it into me and my wife, right? And my future and my vision. What I did from there was up to me. But I wanted to make sure I compensated them for their time, their energy, and focus, helping me to grow. Bedell steak dinners, I probably spent borderline, $400, $500, $600, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I don't know. I took Bedell out. We both can remember at least 2 times we went to dinner. Appetizers, dessert, drinks, steaks, the whole deal. Little steak on the Stone, Black Rock. A lot of you guys been up there when we did Launchpreneur Academy. But you want a couple extra little side shrimp, little poppers, little extra shrimps on the side. They're like $4 a tail. He goes, oh, no, sure. Okay, get him 4. You know what I'm saying? Treat this guy like a king, right? Treat a crumb like a feast, not a feast like a crumb. And I said, Bedell, here's what I got for questions. I need your help. Would you pour into me? We didn't have the best relationship. I only knew Bedell for 6 months, but he was at where I wanted to be or where I was aspiring to be, or at least he could help get me to the next level, right? And he's all I had. He was my lifeline. It's like the old one out there. Guy's drowning in the water. And you guys know this joke. Guy's out there drowning in the water. God throws him a life raft because he's like, God help me. And it's an orange one. And the guy says, oh, I don't want the orange one. That's not my color. God's like, what the heck? And so guy goes, God help me, God help me, God help me. God throws him a green one. And guy goes, oh, I don't like the green life raft. Sorry. Guy drowns and, he meets God at the pearly gates and says, dude, what happened? And he goes, well, don't say what the heck, but he goes, what happened? He goes, I was throwing you, life rafts, dummy. You didn't want to pick them because they were the wrong color. And so be really, really careful with how you start evaluating people. Don't be too hoity-toity to not connect and not get with somebody, not humble yourself a little bit, right? I wrote down the Bedell steak dinners. The first year we did snow, we didn't know how to plow. I go out there with a $60,000, $70,000 rig, obviously not the best starting rig, but that's what I had. It was reliable. It was new. I wanted everything new. I didn't want any issues. My first year doing snow, we did like $35,000. I probably would have did $3,500 if I didn't know otherwise from the things Bedell taught me. And by the way, can you believe it's already our third, if not fourth, I think, winter plowing snow? And we haven't made less than that. I'll tell you that. We just finished up our bang up winter. This was a good winter. I bet you Bedell and I did anywhere from 30 to 50,000 between salt and snow. That's not bad. Man, thank God I spent $600 on steaks. Well, Brian, that's easy for you to say. You had $600. Did I? You don't know that. I'll tell you what, in October, I spent my $16,000 cash, $4,000 trade-in for my truck, put $20 down. Liz and I didn't have much money left. And then after that, I dropped $7,500, pay cash for a plow. We definitely didn't have very much money left. And we were still living in our little dumpy 700 square foot apartment where you could literally vacuum that thing end to end by just having the vacuum plugged in the middle socket of the apartment. The mystery stain, these stories aren't made up. They're not fabricated. Okay. This is real life. Okay. And so thank God I just said to Liz, hey, do you want to get a little Louis Vuitton bag, a little long chomp? Or do you want to eat beans and rice and burritos and peanut butter and jellies and the good old fried bologna with a little ketchup, little butter in the skillet? You're not broke until you've had fried bologna and ketchup. Okay. And we had that a bunch, man. I grew up on that. I'll have some right now, man. I'll tell you what. Thank God I didn't let $100, $200, $300 steak dinners get in the way of me making $100,000 in the next 36 months. And I'm not trying to impress you. I'm just telling you, invest in your future. Invest in yourself. That's the challenge on this podcast today. Go out there, get an outside perspective. Okay. Let's keep it going. Here's what I wanted to do. We're gonna just lock it down right here. Here's a couple notes I just wrote down. What if I didn't invest in education? What if I didn't invest in self-help books? How would I have known? How can I get a perspective of Dale Carnegie, Rockefeller, Robert Kiyosaki, Darren Hardy, Zig Ziglar, right? All these different people. What if I kept my old CPA? It's not, just the what if you do, it's the what if you don't, right? What if I would have kept my old CPA? What if he didn't retire and I was content because status quo, familiarity, comfortability. And I was like, you know what? I got a good guy. I never evaluated whether or not my guy was good. I never evaluated. I never put anything or anybody under the microscope. Is my bookkeeper good? Is my payroll company good? Is my CPA good? I'll tell you what, I didn't find out I had a bad CPA until I had a good CPA. Tell you what, upgrade your team. Okay. You got to upgrade your team, but first you got to upgrade your thought process so you know what to look for. That's why you read. That's why you listen to podcasts, right? What if I didn't have a good YouTube coach? I spent $400 on a coach, 3 years ago. We had 15,000 subs. A year later, we had 45,000. A year later, we had 100,000. A year after that, we're at 130,000, of course, getting this year going. And by the end of this year, probably have north of 150, 175,000 subs. I'm not going to tell you what that makes as an income, but I'll tell you, I'm super glad I spent $400 to get some outside perspective about just 2 or 3 different things I could tweak to grow my business, right? What if Troy Clogg said, $3.99, I'll take you to a steak dinner. We'll go out to eat. I'll let you pick my brain. Any question, everything's open. You want to know financials? You want to talk about bidding? You want to talk about how to, keep employee number 2 or number 1 and number 3 around for 30 plus years in my company? Anything you want. If Troy Clogg offered that, like a charity dinner, right? Like a charity offering or charity blind charity thing where you just invest, $400, $600, $1,000, right? If Troy Clogg said tomorrow, I'm available for $400 for a dinner, I would be the first person to take that guy out to dinner. If Stanley Dirt Monkey did a coaching call and it was $4.99 for an hour, are you kidding me? Not because of YouTube, But the guy's run a successful, $1 million+ contractor business for, 20, 25 years, maybe more. What is that worth? Stop counting the cost. Look for the return. Okay. Here's what I got. What if I didn't call Keith? We have several hundred members join Launchpreneur Academy per month that we're making an impact with. And I get the emails, the DMs, the texts. It fires me up. What if I just said, dude, $1,000, Keith? Are you crazy? Now I told Keith, you help me get Launchpreneur Academy to a certain revenue goal, and I'm going to buy you a slingshot, because that's how much I appreciate you. Okay. That's how much I see the impact of a Keith Kelp. Some people give Keith some crap. Oh, he's a little squirrely. He's a little out there. Yeah, he is. But you know what? Keith, operates borderline genius. And maybe that's the reason some of y'all don't understand him. Not the other way around. Get around Keith. That guy, he is the most humble, smartest, intelligent dude I've ever met. So I know him personally. I spent 36 hours in a hotel room knowing what that guy thinks. And you know what? He's got the biggest heart out of anybody I know. Okay. What if I didn't invest with Bedell? What if I didn't invest into Paul Jameson? Right? What if I didn't go to Keith Kalfas's marketing ROI 2 years ago, or Jason Creel's event a year and a half ago, and I didn't get the vision to have a live event for ourselves? Some of you guys wouldn't even be full-time in business right now. Things to think about. Successful companies reinvest in their people. Okay, a couple different notes I wrote down here. Man, this is good stuff. Budget for yourself. Most companies will spend 5 to 7 to 10% of all gross revenue. They'll put it back into marketing. I heard somebody really successful say that they spend 3 to 5% of all gross revenue they bring in on self-development. Right. So whether you go to the 10X Growth Con, something by Darren Hardy, something by Tony Robbins, and there's 10,000 people that do different things. That's awesome. It's all motivation. Yeah. Well, the people that are there have a better chance of, winning than not winning. And you know what? I'll gladly go and pay $1,000 for somebody to tell me I'm freaking awesome for 7 days straight. Tell you what, because you know what you're going to do? You're going to believe it. You're going to come back and you're going to perform. You know who says that, by the way? People who literally have nothing exciting going on in their life. Their income hasn't grown. Their marriage stinks. Compare the alternative. Everybody who I know is successful invests in themselves and goes to conferences and events. Launchpreneur Academy, is one that we're putting on for our event and for our following, right? We want to help you guys grow. All right, here's the last couple things I'm going to say. Meetings and conferences, they don't make you successful. They prepare you to be successful. You listen to this podcast, you get all fired up. It's not going to make you successful. You still got to execute. Okay. I don't care if you spend $600 on a coaching call, $179 on a coaching call. It's not going to make you successful unless you take the info and you execute. Right. I love the Almonds. Great people. They got the Hardscape Academy promotion going on with us right now for the whole ball of wax promotion. Incredible value, by the way, for $9.99. Those folks, their word for 2021 is execute. And I think the reason that they have so much great things going on with them and around them is because they chose to execute. They're getting new thought process. They're growing personally, professionally, and then they're executing on what they learn. All right. So here's the deal. This isn't a plug for you guys to buy a coaching call from me. Here's what I'll say. If I saw 20 coaching calls get purchased after this call, I know you guys are serious about success, but you don't have to invest them with me. That's not the point of this at all. It's not like, hey, coaching calls are doing a little slow. Maybe we should do a little podcast and kind of bump those numbers up. Frankly, coaching calls take time, bro. And I'm glad to do them when you guys purchase the whole ball of wax or you buy them a la carte. But it's not there to pad my financial stats. I'll tell you that. I sincerely want to help you guys that are stuck. You got a couple hard decisions, couple things that you're trying to figure out: equipment, finances, life, when to go full time, whatever. That's what the coaching calls are for. Here's what I challenge you. Bedell's got coaching calls. You know what? Keith Kalfas has a coaching call. Paul Jameson has a coaching call. Jason Creel. I don't even know if Jason Creel has one, but you say, hey, Jason, I don't know if you have coaching calls, but for $99, I want to pick your brain and I want to learn what you know. John Pajak. Tigran Gertz out there for some of my hardscape, landscape guys, West Coast. Pick these guys' brains, see what they know. And outside of that, go find somebody that you revere, somebody's content. Like, hey, you like Gary Vee? That's awesome. But unfortunately, you ain't going to be able to talk to Gary Vee unless you pay $50,000 and you're part of some elite mastermind, or you invest into, 50 million bottles of his wine therapy stuff or whatever he's got. Right. So what do you got left? Fullerton, doopy doo. So listen. Here's what I want to challenge you to do. Go invest a lunch or a dinner in a coach or a mentor sometime this next 3 or 4 weeks. Sincerely. Like, get an outside perspective. Take somebody out to lunch. If you've never done it, you're not a people skill person, you don't have a lot of friends, or you just don't want to make more friends. That's kind of my attitude. I don't want to make more friends. I'm an introvert. That's fine. But here's what I'll tell you to do. Get out of your own way. Get an outside perspective. Get an outside orbit. You know, one thing that I really want to say too, appreciate the people that you pull from. Appreciate the people that you do get thought process from. And this isn't about me, but I'll tell you what. Do you know how few people actually turn around and reciprocate and say thank you on a day-to-day basis? You know, go to church next time on Sunday and watch the pastor and watch how he, does a little communion thing, little song and dance for the band on stage, right? Sing one last little hymn or one last little song. And then he pulls off to the side of the stage and he's going to go into the main, little atrium concourse area, whatever it's called. Notice how many people go up to him or how few people go up to him. Count next time. Just take, weird little case study. Again, I'm a people watcher. I'm an observer. But notice how many people, 200, 500, 1,000, 5,000 person congregation. Notice how few people really go up and thank him. I mean, even just say, hey, pastor, great message. You really challenged me today. I got some things I can work on. Thank you for taking the time and energy to put this conversation together and pour into me. You know what that would do to somebody if you just were sincere and you just thanked them? That pastor just spent an hour and a half. His life force battery is probably low. It's on low battery, like most of our iPhones. Listen to this. And right? Get the little shutdown thing. He just poured it out there for an hour. And most people go, nah, I didn't really like his sport coat. The gray doesn't match his brown shoes. What? We're not going to be people like that listen to this show. We're going to treat a crumb like a feast, not a feast like a crumb. And we're going to be appreciative and we're going to be thankful for people who pour it out there. Here's a challenge. When's the last time you shot a DM to some YouTuber? Like this moniker of like making fun of people that are trying to give back. It's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I said, if you do an exposing me video, it exposes you. It doesn't expose me. You look like the idiot, not me. So when's the last time anybody just had some gratitude out there? You shot Caleb Allman. Hey, dude, every single day you're 30 stories deep on your Instagram profile in your Instagram stories. Thank you seriously for pouring it out there. When's the last time you thanked Brittany Allman for providing a female perspective and just said thank you? When's the last time you sent Paul Jameson, John Pajak, B&B Lawn Care, pick your guy, and you just said, hey, dude, thanks. When's the last time you defended them in a Facebook war? When's the last time you left them a review that they're always begging for? The reason they beg is because nobody's doing it. You know why? Because nobody's appreciative. I'm extremely appreciative. I've never lost that. You know why? Because when you're poor and broke and you start making a little, you start, you look along the way and you never want to forget where you came from. Okay. You never want to forget where you came from. One thing that I got to be sincere on and just say thank you is you guys send so much stuff to my PO box that doesn't make it to Instagram. It doesn't make it onto a YouTube video. And I'm sincere. You know why? Because I don't want to embarrass you guys. I don't know how to receive it. I need to be better at receiving things and gifts. You guys send gift cards. You guys send Chick-fil-A. This isn't a thing to get you to send me. This is some psychological tactic for you to send me a stupid $10 Chick-fil-A gift card. Okay, relax. Listen, I'm thankful for this. For those of you guys. I had one guy send me like 3 Chick-fil-A gift cards, and they weren't like $5, $10 ones. They were like $25 each. And then he sent me like a $25 Amazon one. I think a $25 Home Depot one. I literally DM'd him. I said, dude, what are you doing? Like, this is $150. And he knows who he is. He's listening. He's down south. And he goes, I just appreciate you. I said, yeah. I appreciate you too. He goes, no, I went full time. My first year I did this. My second year I did that. You know where I'm at now. We do coaching calls. I super appreciate above and beyond. Appreciate what you're doing. My life wouldn't be the same. I'm like, yeah. You would have called Caleb or Paul and they would have given you the same soft shoe, help you out advice. And he's like, no, you helped me through this. You gave me the encouragement. You put the wind underneath my wings to go on out there, kick that door open and go make a name for myself and never look back. Burn the boats. And I'm like, hey man, if you think so, awesome. Thank you. I'll receive that. I'll receive that praise. I'll receive that gift. I'm not asking for it. But when's the last time you sent somebody a thank you card? It doesn't have to be a gift card. Just send them a thank you card. Well, I don't know your mailing address. Everybody's got a PO. And if you snoop good enough on Google, you can find where everybody lives, right? Let's just be honest. 2021. But when's the last time you guys saw a DM to Marty, Mr. Producer? You just said, hey, dude, thanks for doing what you're doing. You guys know, like, I hit record and I hit stop. The guy who brings you the show 3 days a week that keeps you guys motivated, it ain't me. It ain't me. I do the jibber jabbering, man. That's the easiest part of the show. But the guy who brings you the show 3 days a week without fail. When's the last time you did something 3 days a week consistently for a year and never missed a beat? I'll tell you who, Marty, Mr. Producer. By the way, he's not just doing my show. He's got 4 or 5 other shows and a full-time job. Well, he's doing it because you guys pay him well. No, we don't. We do not pay him very well. We pay him enough, and I wish I could pay him more. So we need to hit up those sponsors and get some better promo deals going on. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we're trying to do, trying to grow the channel. We get the content, we get the cash, we invest it back into the business, we invest it back into the podcast, we invest it back into the YouTube videos. You know why? Because so many of you guys are appreciative. So I'm not saying, hey, you guys aren't appreciating the content. Not at all. In fact, I think we're almost at 800 plus reviews and ratings on the podcast. For a podcast our size, like Gary Vee's only got 10,000 or whatever. Okay. We're almost at 1,000. That's insane. And Gary Vee's like, dude, 100 times bigger than us. So I'm extremely thankful. This isn't a lesson or a beat up session or anything like that. It's just, man, let's be people that are out there. Let's be a community of launchpreneurs. And I can't say everybody in the community is going to be like this, but if you listen to my content, tag, you're it. Be thankful, be appreciative, continue to be, right? You know, Bedell gave me a $150 gift card to the local place where I picked up my quad. Just because. It wasn't like I referred him some big, deal and he got, this $25,000 account. He's like, oh, dude, well, 1% off the top for a subcontractor, referral. No, he just randomly gave it. It was like a random ass Monday. He's like, hey, dude, by the way, here's a little something. And I'm like, what's up, dude? And he gave me a $150 or $200 gift card for a helmet. He goes, hey, I know how hard you've been working to get that quad, dude. I literally see the bags under your eyes, bro. He goes, I know you're working. I know you're sewing. I know you're pouring it out there. You're growing your business. You're growing your YouTube thing. Dude, it's just a little something extra. You can open it now. You can open it later. $200 gift card. And I go, what the heck, dude? What's this for? He goes, just for you to buy a helmet. He goes, I figure you're all excited. You probably forgot a little detail there. You need a little helmet, little goggles. I went, you're actually right. I said, you need a helmet? He goes, probably not a bad idea. He goes, for your noggin, we really would appreciate if you put a little helmet on. I said, well, no problem, bud. It'll bring back old times when I was riding the short bus, but that's a whole nother story. But you know what? $200 gift card. That's insane. It wasn't because I got him fertilizer clients or fertilizer accounts or, referred him to, some new strip mall that was on his side of town in Bloomfield, where his city is. Nothing like that, man. It's just he treats a crumb like a feast and a feast he doesn't treat a feast like a crumb, right? So let's go out there. Let's be people who are givers. Let's be people who are sowers. Let's be people who are thankful. Let's be people who reciprocate. When somebody says, hit thumbs up or leave a review, we do it, man. We do it. You know why? Because we appreciate each other and we are in this together. So let's just button it up right here. I think Marty's going to come back to you guys with the show announcements, the show sponsors again, and the promotion that we got going on with the whole ball of wax for a limited time here. Literally, I think it's the best deal we could ever put together on the website between us and the almonds with the Hardscape Academy. Absolutely incredible. Guys, here's my challenge to you. Sometime in this next 30 days, take somebody out to dinner, buy a coaching call, get an outside perspective, grow. Get somebody in your corner that can help take your life to the next level.
Thanks for hanging around till the conclusion of the podcast. In case you missed it, the whole ball of wax super deal includes 2 coaching calls with Brian. One you could use right now as the season is cranking up. The other as we say head into the fall or winter or you need to strategize for 2022. If you have not visited the LaunchpreneurAcademy.com website lately, please head there right now. See what resources you or maybe somebody that you're mentoring might need. And, of course, consider getting it all for only $9.99. I don't know when the deal's going to end. That's where the sense of urgency comes from. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. And, of course, the link will be in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.